How's it hanging, fellas? I'm OrosZ and this is another episode of Terraria, and in today's episode we're going to do the usual of going to caves and exploring the world and stuff like that. Great time I picked to explore because I can't see anything right now on the screen, it's just so awfully dark. And you know what I forgot last episode? And I just kinda forgot about that? I was reading the stupid fanfiction. You know, but I forgot to read it, so I don't know, let's read the second chapter of the story. Yo, what the fuck is this advertisement? Looks kind of, absolutely fucking terrible. What the fuck? Chapter 2, The Welcoming Committee. What felt like anywhere between a few moments to a few hours of running non-stop passed before he collapsed brokenly on the ground. Tired and now slowly realizing that he was even more lost than he was before, he rolled onto his back and tried to collect his breath and his senses. So, if you don't remember what happened in the first chapter, and you're like, what the fuck am I reading? In the third episode, I'm reading the first chapter of this fanfiction. I don't promise this is a funny fanfiction, it's just the longest one I picked, because there's a lot of episodes, so I thought, okay, I'm gonna read this for whenever I'm running out of things to talk about. I think this episode we're going to be fighting the Bee Queen a lot. We're back into the jungle dungeon and we're just going to be fighting the Bee Queen over and over. And I really hope to finally get that cool, sweet... what's it called? I was really hoping to get that... bee gun. But the only good thing I got from her was a bee hat and bee grenades. I think they're called something like bee nades or something like that. My axe is so shit, I was using guns and yo-yos. As his breathing started returning to normal and the sound of his heels began to recede into the background, a particular noise stood out against the backdrop. Slurp, plop, sh. Sitting up quickly, he strained his ears trying to figure out where the sound was coming from. The same sound again. Sitting at the bottom of a rather steep hill, he was almost sure. Same sound again. Now, he was certain that the noise was coming from the other side of the hill. That same noise again, it's like slurp, plop, shish, sh. I guess it's supposed to be a slime. He was also certain that he wasn't really interested in the noise as much as he was afraid of it, wishing he'd not tossed the axe in his fright. He was surprised when his hand closed on the handle of whatever the noise. Standing up without dropping what he discovered was a crude sword with a copper blade. He turned to face the noise, holding the weapon in front of him. Not sure what good a weapon he didn't know how to use was going to be. Looked up and see that noise. A large gelatinous wad of something land quivering of impact atop a hill. Wondering what could have possibly thrown that up there, he was taken aback when the green thing tangled glob of goo shuddered. He watched as its outer perimeter condensed down around its base and its inner mass raised itself into a dome shape. Slurp before plorp, and dome shaped into the mass, breaking the seal formed by its perimeter and launching it into the air in his direction, landing far too close to him for his comfort. He stumbled backwards, falling over with a sword just barely still in his hands, and raised its pointed end at the blob as he could threaten it away with his feeble gesture alone. It was surprisingly unfazed, not that he was certain it really had the capacity to react. Slurp, plorp, thrusting the blade into the air and roaring while tensing up, not of a mind to fully think he was acting true. He was surprised momentarily when something the blob landed on the other side of him. Not needing an invitation, he took this as an opportunity to scramble hurriedly to his feet with all the grace of a drunken fool, trying to right itself and move two legs, but not fast enough before he screamed, falling forward this time on the ground and thrashing around to fend off nothing. Looking around frantically, he noticed the goop hadn't come back for him. In fact, it seemed not even have noticed him. Standing shaken but otherwise unharmed, he watched as the blob of semi-transparent green goo just continued along its way. "You're lucky you didn't stick that slime as it was coming past," Giles' voice informed him. abruptly for focusing his gaze and shattered thoughts. What the? Looking around, having not expected to hear his voice again, he didn't seem his would-be guide anywhere. He just struck that slime. Not only would you have had to deal with its rapid shift in demeanor, but Pinky happened to be watching you from the rocks over there. Oh, Pinky, that's a pink and small slime. It's like really tough. I never run into him in this playthrough. Pinky was watching you from over there. Gal informed him, coming out from behind a large mound of moss-covered stones. Who's watching me? He asked, startled, looking for someone else besides a strange man who had somehow found him again. Pinky thought it looked like it's leaving now. Pinky, though, it looks like he's leaving. I can't read. I'm a dumbass, I'm sorry. Guile answered, pointing at the stones where he thought he saw a small splash of colors before it melted into a mound. What the heck is going on here? He shouted, sounding far meeker to himself than he liked. The stranger shrugged. Let's see, you're standing shaking in the middle of Lighty Woods area, yelling at me for things I have absolutely nothing to do with. Am I close? He asked, a wary look on his face. Glaring at Guile, unable to completely shake the discomfort from earlier, he took a slow, shuddering breath and tried to compose himself so that he could at least figure out what's going on, which was easier said than done. Listen, I don't know where I am, I don't know what's going on, and I almost got attacked by a giant blob. Slime. Whatever. He shuddered. Actually, I think there is an enemy in the game called Blob. Just like a slime with a face. Whatever, he shrugged, aggravated by having been interrupted while he was trying to organize his thoughts out loud. Listen, I know you're not happy right now, but we don't have time to sit here and discuss your problems, Guile stated, intentionally speaking over his attempts to start talking again and almost setting him off in the process. If you thought a passing slime was something to be concerned about, you would be wise to start preparing accommodations for the night. The dead are not as fearful of the moon as they are of the sun. Giving Guile an incredulous look, he was reluctant to ask, what do you mean by that? What do you think I mean? With the sun is just over halfway across the sky, you got too many hours of daylight before the zombies and demon eyes come looking for you. I'm told warm blood and healthy flesh is irresistible for those who no longer have either, he answered. I was gonna mention something. What was that? Oh yeah, that later, I guess it has a lot of chapters, right? It's like 20 something chapters, 28 I think. And I was thinking, what if, you know, there's a chapter where he has to defeat Wall of Flesh and Guile ends up dying and they're gonna do like, oh no, Guile, my best friend who was the first to introduce me to this cruel world, no. Stuff like that. No, fuck off, Galaxy Node, bitch. Where did I end it? Healthy flesh is irresistible to those who no longer have either, he answered. Wait, you expect me to believe? Listen, I don't care what you believe, Guile interrupted him. The facts are simple. You either spend the next few hours figuring out where you're going to hole up for the night, or I get to watch as the walking flying dead tear you apart. The fuck is Guile gonna do, by the way? Guile in the game only has a bow, so he's not gonna do shit. Like, he's gonna die just as well. Fucking dumbass. And what about you? Where do you hole up? He asked, angry at the monotone way in which his guide was discussing his potential dismemberment. When you've been here as long as I have... No, let me take that back. Once you've been here long enough, you find that there are far greater dangers than those posed by the night. I no longer have anything to fear from them. You, however, just fell apart at the sight of a slime, so again, this time his voice took on the low, hollow tone it held on the first meeting, and that presence was back. Hide or not, it is your life to end as you wish. And what the heck is it that about? He yelled at Guile, gesturing loosely towards the strange man who seemed to flip back and forth between creepy and travel-worn. A smile hiding just beyond the corners of his mouth, a smile that held no warmth. Guile responded, this is about giving you what you need to forge your own pathetic way. This is about showing you that which you are incapable of seeing on your own. This is about providing enough guidance for you to choose your own death. Still in that distant, almost menacing tone. Looking at the nearly blank expression on Gal's face. He could feel his anger slowly lumbering away under the volitation on his own. As his shoulders deflated, he realized it wasn't that he felt any safer, but nothing made sense. Nothing was as he expected it to be. Finding it was only draining him of what energy he had left. As he slowly sunk to his knees, he realized that the more aggressively he shrugged against his strange situation he found himself in, the less energy he had to figure out things out. And he was nearing the edge of his ability to do both. Not that he's been successful at either. Looking up, he was surprised to see his actions had been mirrored. Fine, just tell me what I need to do to survive the night. I'll start figuring out the rest out after that, he replied in tone that shrugged out the very last bit of his struggle and pointed oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my god, I was interrupted again. Didn't realize that I fucking had to like move, reach around and shit. It's fucking annoying me, and I don't even know what I'm doing. Also, I placed like a crap ton of torches in that motherfucking spot. My throat started to hurt. Also, while I was going back here, I noticed in the mirror that my haircut from my left profile looks exactly the same as the guide, or the default haircut in this game, or boss's haircut. He gets the default one too. It's like pointy at the front, like sticking out in the back. Mess. Didn't even fucking had a shower. I would already fucking taken care of everything if this fucking asshole wasn't doing shit in the kitchen. Because I don't want to fucking sit here, talk to myself, and then later he will come back from work and he'll be like, you know what, I've been to these people, and there was this guy, and he was just sitting in his room talking to himself like an insane person. You think I'm a fucking insane person? Fuck that. I got a sword. Where did I get it from? Boss gave it to me. I remember that. He made that sword and he copied it and gave it to me. Not gonna lie, he kinda was guiding me through the whole game. He was a better guide than the guide could have possibly fucking wished to be. Back to the stupid story. I don't know where the fuck I live. A smile hiding just beyond the corners of his mouth, a smile that held no warmth. Yeah, I responded, yeah, this was, I read that already. Looking at the nearly blank expression of Guile's face, he could feel his anger slowly lumbering away. No, yeah, that too. Looking up, he was surprised to see his actions had been mirrored. Blah blah blah. His voice wary once more. Guile responded, well, for stars, you can go grab your sword, take your axe back, and finish gathering some wood. With another warmer smile now skirting the borders of his expression. About that, what happened with that tree back there? He asked, looking around for that sword that he found. It's a product of this world's design. The nature magic here is focused around creation. Well, most of it is. Gal started telling him as he got on his feet and walked over to where the sword he skittered. When you fell a tree, you aren't destroying a tree, but creating wood. As the tree strikes... Yeah, that's actually kind of one way to look at it. Where was that? Destroying wood. You aren't destroying a tree, but creating wood. Why is creating and destroying capital letters? As the trees drink the magic of this world from the acorn up, they naturally reflect that transition. Picking the sword up, he realized for the first time how light he was. He wasn't sure what good a sword that felt as if it was possibly hollow would be in a struggle, but he had no intention of putting himself in a situation to find out. Walking back to Gal, he helped the strange man on his feet and asked, so where's the axe? Where he saw an axe would have upset him even minutes before, but he was too worried to work up the energy it would take to do such a jump. 1 second, Guy was standing there with nothing in his hands, but then the next had him holding an axe he tossed away in his fright. Earlier in raising it from him to take, a slight hesitation, nothing more, and he took the axe. Strange man had many talents, so it seemed. Standing there with an axe, which he noticed was also lighter than he would have thought, in one hand and sword in the other, he asked, so how am I supposed to gather wood while carrying both of these? I'll give you credit, you're doing a good job of not asking me where the axe came from, but in this instance both answers are directly related. You should store the sword in your pouches. That will free up your hands to use the axe. Gal answered him, a small but friendly smile now flew on his face. Looking down at the pouches he'd been given earlier, he couldn't help but feel silly imagining an entire sword fitting in one of those. Reaching down to open one of the small pouches, he froze as he realized that And he was doing it with an empty hand, looking down for the sword. His gut lurched at the weapon reappeared in his hand. Sitting rather heavily on the ground, he dropped both weapons and took a moment to compose himself. Breathing just raggedly, he said, "Go ahead, tell me what just happened." Here we go, that was chapter 2. I'm gonna read the third one. You know what, I don't think they needed to explain somewhat in the lore of this world how the fuck the equipment works. You know? Game Informer reportedly said that the Avengers game, the upcoming Square Enix Avenger game, is boring as fuck. Well, that's cool. That's great. I don't really give a shit about that game, to be honest. I mean, I kinda, slightly, just a little bit too, but not very much. I don't wanna fucking do it. I don't like fucking Marvel. I don't like superhero games all that much, to be honest. I think I'm going insane. Shadow in the corner of my eyes. And I wish I was joking. There's cars in Fortnite. I don't care. At least they're gonna be added. Last time I played Fortnite was the one time in 2017 when I was recording this gameplay and such out of Fortnite. And then I never played it again. I kinda wish to just not say anything for the rest of this video, because my throat really hurts. I don't feel like saying anything. I ran out of subjects to talk about. I'm checking out Twitter right now. See anything interesting happening? Super Paper Mario, what's the new one called again? Origami King. It looks fun. I wish I could have switched. Someone almost fucking pushed me, some little goddamn bee almost pushed me into fucking lava and I actually fell into it. I would have been fucking dead if not for the health upgrade. I found some dude who looks like the gangsters, looks like the mafia guys from A Hat in Time actually, now that I think about it. He's a tavern keeper. He can walk on lava apparently. And he's a tough son of a bitch. I hate these fucking enemies in the jungle biome because they're so small and you can barely see those little bees. Dale. Doesn't even have much health as I do, what a pussy. And his big eyebrows. He sells you beer. Sells you some shit. Later in the game you can get a really cool outfit from him and that's the one that I get at the very end of the game. Which that's like the only one that I actually liked how it looked, and I wish I had that outfit for the whole game, because none of the other outfits I had for the whole game looked any good. Except for the one I had before, at the beginning, when I was in like a purple... I was dressed in this purple, Wait, or is that after these episodes? What was I dressed before? I was obviously dressed in my default outfit. Later I had like a... I guess I kind of like my bee hat right now I have. I love the bee hat. I wish I had something like that in real life. Again, a little bee knocked me into lava. So fucking annoying. I swear to fucking god. I should get out of here before I melt to death. Sounds like a great idea. More fucking shitty goddamn memes that I see every fucking week. Different people fucking posting them. Doom fan art. That's nice. That's nice though. I fucking hate memes. That's interesting. The Ark of Noah rebuilt in Kentucky. Yeah. People rebuilt the Noah's Ark. You know what? Now that I look at this building, it's like fucking enormous. Noah all by himself built that? Yeah, I bet he did. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm a very religious person, to be honest. I don't want to shit on religion because I don't like, if you want to believe in that, sure. But, yeah, I never did. Maybe as a kid I kinda did, but I feel like even in elementary I just kinda knew it wasn't true, but I just didn't like, had anything against it. Because in my school we had this, like, religion classes, and I just had to go on these because everybody went, and it would be kinda weird if I was like the only person who doesn't. If that's ever gonna fucking happen. Yeah, it seems like everything's boring, there's nothing. For real, there's literally nothing for me to talk about. I ran out of my boring life subject. Got nothing. What the fuck am I? Maybe I'll just stay quiet for the rest of the video. I'm just kinda fucking sick of this shit. Or maybe I'll comment on what's happening on the screen, because staying quiet in a fucking no commentary let's play is kind of a stupid idea. What the fuck is the point even? Maybe I'm just getting sick of this whole fucking let's play channel in general. I kind of been. I had, you know, the idea that, you know, if you're gonna make let's plays, you probably want to upload them every day, because who the fuck would want to watch like one episode per week? Even if it would be like well edited, but then it wouldn't really be a let's play, it would be more like a funny moments kind of gameplay video. But now I'm kind of fucking sick of this shit. Maybe I wouldn't be sick of it. Oh, I got a hook. I don't know if someone gave me that hook or I found it. I think I found it. Maybe I was given that hook by my friend boss who gave me everything. And saying? I'm saying something for sure, but I forgot what. And that I'm kinda sick of this. No, I was saying that I wouldn't be sick of this if I actually fucking kept doing this like the way I did it early in the morning after I came back from the gym, instead of sitting here waiting these fucking hours for this fucking asshole to go away so I could fucking do this shit. It's all his fault. I'm gonna blame all of it on him. 3 more minutes. Ah, my fucking head. It's so hot in my room while I close all the windows and turn off the fans just so my fucking microphone won't pick up any dumb noises from outside. Even though it probably wouldn't, to be honest. Still seeing weird fucking figures in corners of my eyes. I think I might be insane, guys. I think I might. Are those the shadow people? Have they came for me? They came to fucking take me to the shadow realm. I don't know. At least last episode I had milkshakes and shit. That was nice. No, those were some good milkshakes, goddamn. And now I don't have them. Where am I running, by the way? Why am I going to the left? Not for real, what the fuck am I going for? I don't know, who knows, I might have actually been running to the left just to go back to the right. Just to run around a little bit, I don't know. Stretch out my legs. My virtual imaginary in-game legs. Or maybe what I try to do. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to do. see my friend boss is already there. He has beast summoned. And there's an old man here. Might just be strong enough to free me from my curse. And what we're gonna do as the last thing in this episode is pretty cool. I felt like I should have done it in another episode. We're gonna fight Skeletron. So it's like a flying skull with 2 hands. Great gameplay of fighting him. 2 FPSs. Not really 2 FPSs because it's like 0 frames per second, just 1 frame per second. Yeah, I feel like, oh, a second, that's a lot of frames in 1 second, but then you're like playing it and you're like, oh shit, that isn't a lot. I'm playing Battle Theater and every single boss of each chapter runs like shit. Every single other video, like episode, right, just with the normal levels are fine, but whenever I hit a timed level and I like have to run through it really fast, and especially those boss ones, those are the ones where I kind of screw it up, and I'm really slow. What am I doing? What am I doing? Excuse me, what am I doing? Why am I changing all this shit in my equipment? I don't know, to be honest, I don't fucking know. I think I might have been just staying in this house for the rest of the video. So see you fellas in the next episode, bye.